This video is about Gilgamesh battles monster until friend falls. If this myth excites you, please like the video, share it with friends, and write in the comments how it pulled you into the adventure. In the far reaches of Mesopotamia, where the rivers kissed the sun-kissed plains, there lay the great city of Uruk, forged by the hands of gods and men. Its ziggurats towered high, piercing the sky like the aspirations of its ruler, Gilgamesh. The mighty king was two-thirds divine, a figure of unparalleled strength and beauty. Yet a shadow haunted his reign, a hunger for glory that no mortal could satisfy. The gods, watching from their celestial thrones, deliberated in the shimmering heavens. This Gilgamesh, a warrior unmatched, must learn humility, murmured Anu, the Sky Father. He must confront a terror that dwells beyond the walls of Uruk. Ninsun, the goddess of wisdom and Gilgamesh's mother, sensed the impending trial. His heart beats for adventure, but at what cost? She whispered, a knot of dread tightening in her chest. One fateful dawn, as the sun cast golden rays over the bustling city, a herald arrived, breathless and wild-eyed. King Gilgamesh, a monstrous creature, ravages the lands beyond Uruk. It feasts on the flesh of mortals, a demon born of the dark abyss. Gilgamesh, his heart ablaze with valor, called upon his loyal friend and companion, Enkidu. Lush and wild, Enkidu had been born of the wilderness, a guardian of nature, yet he stood steadfast by Gilgamesh's side. Together, we shall confront this beast, Gilgamesh proclaimed, his voice resounding like thunder across the city. As dusk fell, a fearsome cloud loomed on the horizon, obscuring the stars. Gilgamesh and Enkidu set forth, armed with weapons forged in divine fire, determination igniting their souls. They ventured into the wilds of the abyss, where shadows danced menacingly, whispering tales of despair. Their path was fraught with challenges. Vines, like serpents, coiled around their legs, and the air thickened with an otherworldly chill. Yet the bond between Gilgamesh and Enkidu was a beacon of hope. "What do you fear, brother?" Enkidu asked, his voice a deep rumble echoing off ancient stones. "Only the thought of failure," Gilgamesh replied, his brow furrowed. "The fate of my people rests upon our shoulders." As if summoned by their resolve, the earth quaked, and from the shadows emerged the beast of the abyss, a creature of nightmares. Its scales shimmered like obsidian, eyes burning with a hellish fire. It roared, a sound that reverberated through the marrow of the mountains, instilling fear in the hearts of all who dared to listen. "Behold the demon that haunts my nights," Gilgamesh shouted, raising his sword. "We shall not falter." With a rallying cry, the two lunged forward, warriors united against darkness. The battle was fierce, a dance of steel and fury. Gilgamesh, striking with the might of a lion, sliced through the air, while Enkidu, alongside him, moved with the grace of the wind. But the beast was cunning, dodging blows and retaliating with ferocity. It swiped with talons that could shred stone, and each strike drew blood. "We must outsmart it, attack from both sides," Gilgamesh shouted, adrenaline surging through him. Together they devised a plan, weaving seamlessly as one. Gilgamesh drew the beast's attention, taunting it with fierce roars. Enkidu, hidden among the trees, prepared to strike. As the beast lunged, Gilgamesh sidestepped, and Enkidu emerged with a feral roar, delivering a blow that sent shockwaves through the air. The beast staggered, moments of uncertainty flickering in its malevolent eyes. "Strike now, brother," Gilgamesh cried, his heart racing. They pressed forward, strikes landing true, but the creature, fueled by a primal rage, retaliated in a violent frenzy. "Watch out," Enkidu warned, but too late. The beast lashed out, its tail a deadly whip, crashing into Enkidu and sending him sprawling into a thicket. "Enkidu," Gilgamesh bellowed, rushing to his friend. With every ounce of strength, Gilgamesh fought to protect Enkidu, battling the relentless creature, but despair encroached upon his heart. "No!" he roared, feeling the weight of the world as the beast turned its wrathful gaze upon him. Empowered by the bond of friendship, Gilgamesh harnessed the fury of the gods themselves. "You will not take him!" he screamed, channeling the energy of his divine lineage. The skies darkened, the winds howled, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. In a final act of defiance, Gilgamesh charged at the beast, his sword glowing with the light of the ancients. "For my people, for my friend," he shouted, driving the blade deep into the creature's heart. The beast howled, a sound of pain and rage, and with one final thrash it fell, lifeless, into the mud. Yet victory came at a terrible price. Gilgamesh turned to Enkidu, who lay wounded, his breath shallow and labored. "Stay with me, brother. The dawn will rise again." Enkidu's eyes flickered like dying embers. "The battle is won, dear friend," he whispered, a smile ghosting across his lips. "But I am weary. My time." "No," Gilgamesh interrupted, desperation clawing at his throat. "You cannot leave me. We forged our destinies together. I am but a fleeting shadow, and you, Gilgamesh, are a legend waiting to be born," Enkidu rasped, his voice barely a whisper. "Live fiercely, honor our bond, and let my spirit guide you." Tears streamed down Gilgamesh's cheeks as he cradled his friend's head, feeling the warmth of life slipping away. "I swear by the gods, I will honor you always." As Enkidu took his last breath, the sun dipped below the horizon, casting an ethereal glow over the land. Gilgamesh's heart shattered, a tempest of grief unleashed. He had battled a monster, but the true monster lay within, the inevitable sorrow of loss. The gods watched from the heavens, their expression solemn. Anu's voice boomed like thunder. "Destiny shall weave a new tale, one of a king who must face not only monsters of flesh but the monsters of his own heart." Gilgamesh knelt, clutching Enkidu's lifeless body, a king brought low by grief. The winds carried his lament across the valleys, echoing through the ages. "I shall not forget you, my brother. Your spirit shall guide me in the darkness." With a heart heavy with loss but ignited by a newfound purpose, Gilgamesh rose. The path ahead was shrouded in uncertainty, but he would honor Enkidu's memory. He would journey into the realms of the gods, seeking the keys to immortality and the wisdom to face the trials that awaited him. Thus, as the stars began to twinkle in the velvet sky, a new chapter unfolded. The saga of Gilgamesh, a king bound by destiny and a hero forged in sorrow, had only just begun. The world trembled in anticipation, for the trials of a grieving king would soon challenge the very fabric of existence itself. In a mythic realm of gods, monsters, and epic quests, the legacy of one man would transcend time, echoing through the hearts of those who dared to dream of glory, honor, and the enduring bonds of friendship. As dawn broke over the fields of Uruk, casting a soft glow that almost felt like Enkidu's lingering warmth, Gilgamesh's heart still waged a battle of its own. The echoes of their last moments together haunted him like a relentless specter. "You are a legend waiting to be born," echoed Enkidu's voice, urging him forward. Fueled by love and grief, Gilgamesh set his sights on the sacred cedar forest, where whispered secrets of the gods slept beneath the towering boughs. The cedar forest was legendary, a sanctuary for gods and beasts alike, an ethereal place where the divine kissed the earth and mortals dared not tread without purpose. Gilgamesh's resolve hardened as he recalled Enkidu's last words. He had to confront the gods, seek out Utnapishtim, the immortal sage who survived the great flood. "To defy fate is to be condemned," he murmured, pushing through the dense foliage, each step a reminder of his friend's sacrifice. As he journeyed deeper into the forest, the sun dimmed, veiled by a shroud of thick fog. The air turned heavy with an ancient magic that crackled like electricity. "I will find you, Enkidu," he vowed, hands tightening around the hilt of his sword, a familiar comfort in the face of the unknown. "I will become the man you believed I could be." Suddenly, a rustle in the bushes startled him, and from the shadows emerged a figure cloaked in emerald robes, eyes sparkling with mischief. It was Shamash, the sun god, radiant and commanding. "Gilgamesh, what brings you to this sacred grove?" he asked, his voice smooth as sunbeams. "Great Shamash, I seek Utnapishtim," Gilgamesh replied, bowing his head in respect. "I strive for immortality to honor my fallen brother." Shamas's laughter rang out, echoing through the trees. You, king of Uruk, seek the unseekable. Immortality is the gift of the gods, not to be taken lightly. Tell me, what will you sacrifice for this boon? Anything? Gilgamesh exclaimed, fire igniting in his heart. I would give my kingdom, my throne, my very soul if it meant I could hold Enkidu once more. The sun god's eyes narrowed, sensing the weight of Gilgamesh's desperation. Very well, but heed my warning, O king, the path is fraught with peril. Death itself guards the entrance to knowledge. With a wave of his hand, Shamas parted the mists, revealing a path of ancient stones leading deeper into the heart of the forest. Follow the trail until you come to the waters of death. There lies Utnapishtim. Gilgamesh bowed low, gratitude swelling in his chest. Thank you, Shamas, I will not fail. With a firm grip on his sword and his heart set ablaze with purpose, he ventured onward, the forest growing darker, the air thick with foreboding. As night fell, a chilling wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it the mournful cries of lost souls. Gilgamesh pressed on, weary yet resolute. Shadows danced around him, twisting and turning as if mocking his quest. Suddenly, a monstrous figure emerged from the darkness, a hulking beast with eyes as red as molten embers and fangs like daggers. Turn back, mortal. It growled, its voice a rumbling earthquake. The waters of death are no place for the living. I fear not the dark nor the depths of despair. Gilgamesh retorted, raising his sword high. I seek the truth that lies beyond. With that declaration, the creature lunged forward, fangs bared. Gilgamesh, steady and fierce, sidestepped, swinging his sword with a warrior's grace. The blade clashed against the beast's hide, a shower of sparks igniting the night. You shall not hinder my path. He roared, determination flooding his veins. The beast howled, a cry that echoed like thunder, springing back for a second assault. You are but a man. Your strength cannot match the darkness. It declared, lunging again. Then I shall become more than a man. Gilgamesh shouted defiantly, channeling the memory of Enkidu's spirit to bolster his resolve. He struck again, aiming for the creature's heart. It staggered but pressed on, unfazed. You fight bravely, but this land is cursed. Feel the weight of your trespass. With a roar, the beast lunged, but Gilgamesh pivoted, rolling aside and regaining his feet. I will not fall. Not here, not now. He charged, driven by the vision of Enkidu standing beside him, urging him on. In a final surge of power, Gilgamesh struck, the blade plunging deep. The beast writhed, its cries blending with the howls of the wind, before collapsing into the earth with a thunderous crash. Gilgamesh stood over it, panting, heart racing, but he pressed on, knowing he was one step closer to the truth. After what felt like an eternity, he reached the edge of a dark, swirling river, the waters shimmering with an ominous glow. The air hummed with the weight of destiny. Utnapishtim, he called, his voice steady. I seek you. Grant me the wisdom of immortality. The waters boiled, and from its depths rose Utnapishtim, a figure wreathed in light, ancient and wise. His voice reverberated like the crashing of waves. Why does a king seek immortality, forsaking the beauty of a mortal life? For my friend, Gilgamesh cried, anguish piercing his heart. To honor the bond we shared, to undo the pain of his loss, I must know how to defy death. Utnapishtim regarded him with solemn eyes. Immortality is not without its burdens, Gilgamesh. You would cast aside the joys of life for an eternity of sorrow. Tell me how. Gilgamesh beseeched, desperation lacing his words. I will shoulder any burden to keep his spirit alive. With a heavy heart, Utnapishtim laid bare the truth. There exists a plant at the bottom of this river, known as the plant of eternal life. But beware, for the waters are treacherous and the guardians of the deep will fiercely protect it. I will face them. Gilgamesh vowed, resolve igniting within him. He plunged into the depths, the water closing over him like a shroud. The chill sought to claim him, but his heart beat fiercely, urging him onward. As he swam deeper, dark figures emerged from the murky depths, serpents with scales as hard as iron and eyes gleaming with malice. They surrounded him, hissing like a storm. "Turn back, mortal," they hissed, their voices dripping with ancient venom. "This is no place for a living soul." But Gilgamesh pressed on, fueled by the memory of Enkidu. "I will not yield," he roared, breaking through their ranks with sheer will. His hand reached for the plant of eternal life, vibrant and pulsing with energy. Clutching it tightly, he fought against the pulling current, surging towards the surface. As he broke free, gasping for breath, the river's guardians surged after him, furious. "You shall pay for your insolence." One serpent hissed, lunging towards him, fangs bared. But Gilgamesh, clutching the plant, summoned all his strength and fought back, slicing through the creature with a fierce swing. With the guardians vanquished, he emerged from the river, exhausted but victorious. Holding the plant aloft, he felt a rush of triumph. "I shall honor you, Enkidu," he shouted, the winds carrying his vow into the heavens. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the land, a new darkness crept into Gilgamesh's heart. What is the worth of immortality without the bonds of friendship, without those we love? He pondered, the weight of his choice pressing heavily upon him. Feeling the pull of destiny shift beneath his feet, he realized that the true essence of life lay not in endless days or ageless bodies, but in the fleeting moments shared with those we cherish. Gilgamesh turned his back on the plant, letting it slip from his fingers into the depths of the river, knowing in that moment he had chosen wisdom over eternal life. "I shall live for both of us," he declared to the winds, a king reborn, "and I shall carry your memory within me forever." And so, with the stars twinkling like the eyes of Enkidu watching over him, Gilgamesh journeyed back to Uruk, ready to face the trials of life anew. A legend born not of immortality but of love, loss, and the unbreakable bonds that define us. The world awaited his story, and the echoes of his adventures would resound through time, a testament to the enduring power of friendship and the beauty of the human spirit. As the sun dipped below the horizon, golden rays fading into a blanket of twilight, Gilgamesh strode back toward Uruk, each step echoing with newfound purpose. The weight of his journey pressed against his heart, yet the lessons drawn from his trials propelled him forward. He had faced the guardians of death and the dark depths of the river, but deeper truths awaited him. With Enkidu's spirit at his side, he would carve a legacy worthy of his fallen friend. Yet the world of gods and men was rarely a tranquil landscape. Upon his return, the air quaked with unease, shrouded by whispers of an impending war. The gods, ever watchful, had sensed a disturbance among the mortals, a rift between kingdoms. A rival king, Humbaba, had risen, rallying forces to challenge Gilgamesh's reign, seeking vengeance for past affronts. This was not merely a clash of swords, it was a collision of destinies. Gilgamesh reached the towering gates of Uruk, his mind racing. The city was alive, its people oblivious to the storm brewing on the horizon. He hurried to the palace, the familiar halls echoing with memories of laughter and camaraderie. But as he entered the throne room, the atmosphere shifted. The tension was palpable. His council awaited him, faces shadowed by worry. Ishtar, the goddess of love and war, stood among them, her beauty dimmed by the looming crisis. "Gilgamesh, the time has come to unite the kingdoms or risk losing all to Humbaba's fury," she urged, eyes glimmering with fervor. "Your people look to you, they need a leader." Gilgamesh nodded, resolve hardening in his chest. "I have faced death and I have embraced life. I shall not allow our legacy to be tarnished by fear," he declared, voice steady. "We will rally the tribes, forge bonds, and prepare for war, but we shall not strike first without cause." Enkidu's spirit whispered through his veins, a steadying force reminding him of their shared dreams. With renewed determination, Gilgamesh gathered his warriors, a legion forged from the fires of friendship, loyalty, and strength. They were not merely soldiers. They were brothers and sisters sharing a common destiny. As the sun rose on the day of reckoning, Uruk stood as a bastion of hope and defiance. The armies gathered upon the grassy plains, gleaming armor reflecting the vibrant colors of the dawn. "Today, we fight not for conquest but for honor," Gilgamesh shouted, his voice bold and unwavering. "We stand for our families, our friends, and the very essence of our existence." The response from his warriors rippled across the ranks, a resounding cheer breaking the morning stillness. For Uruk, they roared, their voices merging into a powerful anthem that echoed through the valleys. Filled with pride, Gilgamesh raised his sword, its blade shimmering like the sun itself. As the opposing forces approached, the air thickened with tension, the scent of battle mingling with the sweet fragrance of wildflowers. Gilgamesh spotted Humbaba at the forefront, a hulking figure clad in dark armor, eyes like flaming coals. "Gilgamesh," his voice boomed, shaking the ground beneath them, "you dare challenge me in my quest for power? I seek only to protect my people, Humbaba." Gilgamesh shouted back, heart-pounding, "We need not be enemies. Let us settle this upon the battlefield, not in the shadows of hatred." But Humbaba's laughter echoed like thunder, cruel and mocking. "You speak of peace, yet your sword is stained with the blood of countless foes. Prepare yourself, for today you will know the taste of defeat." With a fierce battle cry, the army surged forward, clashing like titans. The ground trembled beneath the weight of their fury, the air alive with the exhilarating chaos of war. Gilgamesh fought with the rage of 1,000 storms, sword flashing, cutting through enemies with practiced precision. Each strike was a tribute to Enkidu, a reaffirmation of their bond. He could feel the pulse of the battlefield, the clash of steel, the cries of warriors echoing through the air. His heart raced in time with the rhythm of conflict, a melody of life and death weaving around him. And yet, amidst the chaos, a sense of clarity brushed against the edges of his mind. This was who he was meant to be, a protector, a warrior, a king. But the battlefield was a treacherous place. As Gilgamesh fought, he noticed a flash of movement from the corner of his eye, a flurry of dark shadows converging upon his warriors. He turned just in time to see Humbaba charging toward him, power radiating from his every step. "Face me, Gilgamesh. Let us see if your strength can withstand my wrath." Their swords clashed, sending sparks flying into the air, illuminating the surrounding chaos. The power behind Humbaba's strikes was overwhelming, each blow resonating through Gilgamesh's bones. But he stood firm, fueled by the spirit of his fallen friend and the hopes of his people. "I will not yield," he shouted, pushing back against the surge of darkness. The duel continued, both kings locked in a violent dance of skill and strength, but the tide of battle began to shift. Gilgamesh's warriors faltered, realizing they were outnumbered by Humbaba's forces. A deep foreboding settled in his chest. "We cannot lose this fight," he roared, rallying his soldiers. "Hold fast, brothers. Fight for your kin, for your love, for your future." But as if summoned by the call of despair, a deafening roar erupted from the shadows. A colossal figure emerged from the fray, an ancient guardian, a creature of nightmares, summoned by Humbaba's dark magic. It towered above them, scales glinting menacingly, each breath a gust of terror that threatened to engulf all. "No," Gilgamesh cried, his heart racing. "We must stand together." But chaos ensued, warriors scattering in terror. The creature lunged forward, maw wide, intent on devouring all that lay before it. In that moment of desperation, Gilgamesh felt a surge of power, an echo of Enkidu's spirit urging him onward. "I will not let fear consume us," he shouted, raising his sword high. "For Uruk, for Enkidu." With a fierce battle cry, Gilgamesh lunged at the creature, dodging its razor-sharp claws. He struck with deadly precision, aiming for the soft underbelly, but the beast was quick, thrashing its massive limbs and sending warriors tumbling. The air hummed with tension, a palpable force urging him to summon every ounce of strength. "Together, brothers, strike as one." Gilgamesh bellowed, rallying his warriors. They surged forward, forging a united front against the beast, swords shining like stars against the night. As the battle raged on, the struggles of the past collided with the present. Gilgamesh and his warriors fought valiantly, each moment a tribute to Enkidu's sacrifice. The tides of war ebbed and flowed, and amidst the chaos, Gilgamesh felt a burgeoning flame of hope ignite within him. With coordinated strikes, they began to push the creature back. "We shall not falter, for those we have loved, for those we have lost," Gilgamesh shouted, his voice resonating with the strength of the ages. The beast roared, thrashing wildly, but the combined might of the warriors pressed on. In a climactic moment, Gilgamesh leaped into the air, sword raised high, channeling the spirit of his fallen friend. "This is for you, Enkidu," he cried, plunging his sword deep into the creature's heart. With a final, anguished roar, the beast collapsed, lifeless, its dark power dissipating like mist in the wind. The battlefield fell silent, the echoes of battle replaced by the soft rustle of grass and the distant sound of victory. But the war was not yet won. Gilgamesh turned to find Humbaba, eyes blazing with fury, preparing for one last assault. "You will pay for this, Gilgamesh," he spat, drawing upon the last reserves of his dark magic. "I will not let fear dictate my actions," Gilgamesh replied, standing tall, a beacon of hope amidst the chaos surrounding them. "This ends here." With a roar, he charged forward, the strength of his warriors behind him. The clash of their destinies reverberated across the battlefield, a testament to the bonds of friendship and the sacrifices made. Gilgamesh struck with fierce determination, feeling the weight of his fallen friend's spirit guiding him. As the final blow landed, Humbaba fell to the ground in defeat, darkness lifting like a veil. The skies cleared, sunlight pouring down upon the weary warriors of Uruk, illuminating their victory. Exhausted but unyielding, Gilgamesh stood amidst the remnants of battle, knowing that he had faced the monsters of flesh and darkness and emerged stronger. Yet even in their triumph, a somber realization settled over Gilgamesh. He had won the battle, but the cost weighed heavily upon him. The memories of fallen friends and the scars of war remained etched in his heart. He had embraced life, faced death, and forged a legacy worthy of his fallen brother. As the sun set, casting a crimson hue across the battered battlefield, Gilgamesh stood amidst the remnants of war, the echoes of triumph ringing hollow in his ears. He had faced darkness, challenged fate, and emerged victorious. Yet victory tasted bittersweet, tainted by the specter of what had been lost. The bodies of fallen warriors lay strewn across the field, their faces frozen in moments of bravery that would forever haunt the king. "Enkidu," he whispered, the name etched in his heart like a sacred vow. The bond they shared had been forged in battles and laughter, now twisted by grief and sacrifice. Standing tall, Gilgamesh gazed upon the horizon where the sun dipped low, as if mourning alongside him. "I fought for you, my brother. I hope that you can see me." Yet amidst the sorrow, a stirring in the air caught his attention, a shimmer in the twilight, a celestial dance of light. The gods, drawn by the turmoil of the mortal realm, began to manifest above him, their figures draped in ethereal splendor. Anu, the sky father, descended first, followed by Ishtar, the radiant goddess of love and war, her gaze piercing through the fabric of darkness like a beacon of hope. "Gilgamesh," Anu spoke, his voice a low rumble like distant thunder, "you have faced trials that would shatter lesser men. Yet the path ahead shall demand even more from you. Destiny weaves its threads tight, and the tapestry of fate is far from complete. What more could the gods ask of me?" Gilgamesh replied, exhaustion washing over him as he dropped to one knee, his sword clattering against the ground. "I have fought the darkness, I have bled for my people, and I carry the weight of loss as both crown and shackle." Ishtar stepped closer, her eyes reflecting the fading light, a mixture of admiration and concern swirling within her gaze. "The bond you shared with Enkidu transcends death, but it is not the end of your journey. You must seek out the depths of your own heart, for only by embracing your grief can you truly rise as the king your people need." As she spoke, a shadow flickered behind her, a dark silhouette creeping upon the battlefield, a reminder that not all was yet resolved. Gilgamesh's gaze snapped to the figure emerging from the haze of twilight, a daunting specter clad in a cloak of shadow. From the darkness stepped Humbaba, risen once more, his fury a tempest waiting to unleash upon the world. "Foolish king," Humbaba roared, his voice echoing through the valleys, a sound that sent chills through every warrior present. "You may have bested me in battle, but darkness is eternal. I shall rise again and again, until all of Uruk lies in ruin." Gilgamesh's heart pounded, the weight of loss melding with the fire of defiance. "You will not win today, Humbaba," he declared, rising to his full height, sword firmly grasped in both hands. "We are a people forged in resilience. You may have attempted to snuff out the light, but we shall persist." With a furious battle cry, Humbaba lunged, the ground trembling beneath his monstrous weight. Gilgamesh met him, a whirlwind of steel and valor. They clashed like titans, swords ringing out, the air thick with tension. Each strike reverberated with the memories of those who had fallen, each movement a tribute to the friendship that had once lit his path. "Your spirit is weak, Gilgamesh." Humbaba snarled, dodging a strike and swiping at Gilgamesh with a clawed hand, narrowly missing. "Embrace it. Embrace despair. Despair has no hold on me." Gilgamesh countered, spinning away from the blow. "I am the king of Uruk. I carry the souls of my fallen brothers and they demand justice." The battle raged on, the ground trembling beneath them, a testament to the raw power coursing through the air. Gilgamesh struck with precision, envisioning Enkidu at his side, urging him on. "For you, my friend," he shouted, channeling his grief into strength, thrusting his sword with renewed vigor. Humbaba staggered, momentarily taken aback by the fierce determination radiating from Gilgamesh. "But you cannot escape your fate," he spat, fury igniting in his eyes. "I shall strip away your hope until nothing remains." "Enough!" Gilgamesh roared, a storm of emotions twisting within him, an amalgamation of anger, sorrow, and love. "I will not allow you to drown me or my people in shadows." He launched forward, the embodiment of his memories, his loss, and his unwavering spirit. With a swift, powerful strike, he slashed across Humbaba's torso, drawing deep crimson lines through the air. The beast howled in pain, staggering back, fury mixed with disbelief. "You dare wound me, I shall." But before Humbaba could finish, Gilgamesh lunged again, channeling every ounce of his spirit into one final strike. "This is for Enkidu, for every soul you've tormented." He plunged his sword into the heart of darkness, the blade piercing through the darkness that clung to Humbaba like a shroud. The creature howled, a sound that blended despair and rage, the very fabric of existence shuddering as light exploded from within him. Humbaba fell to the ground with a deafening crash, the echoes of his fury dissipating into the ether, leaving behind only silence and a stillness that hung heavy in the air. Gilgamesh stood over the remnants of his foe, panting heavily, heart racing with adrenaline and relief. The sun, breaking through the clouds, illuminated the battlefield, casting a golden aura over the fallen warriors, their sacrifice not in vain. "Your legacy shall endure," Anu's voice boomed from above, a celestial blessing enveloping the ground. "You have proven your strength, but your true challenge lies ahead. Honor the memory of those you have lost and carry forth the light." Ishtar stepped forward, a gentle smile gracing her lips. "You have fought valiantly, Gilgamesh. Remember, your heart holds the power to heal the wounds of loss. The journey is not over, but you have the strength to shape the path ahead." "I will forge a new destiny," Gilgamesh proclaimed, standing tall amidst the wreckage of battle, his heart swelling with newfound purpose. "I will lead my people with honor and resilience." Yet even as he spoke, a whisper of doubt danced in the corners of his mind, a nagging thought that lingered, urging him to reflect upon the choices yet unmade. Could one king truly mend the fractures of a realm in turmoil? As if sensing his turmoil, the wind swirled around him, carrying the soft laughter of Enkidu, a gentle reminder that he was never alone. "Live fiercely, dear friend," the wind seemed to echo, buoying his spirit. "You carry me within you always." With a renewed sense of purpose, Gilgamesh turned his gaze toward Uruk, his city standing proud against the encroaching darkness. He marched forward, heart beating in time with the pulse of destiny. The gods had witnessed his trials, and he would honor their faith in him. As he entered the gates of Uruk, the people cheered, their voices rising in celebration, ignited by the fire of hope. "Long live Gilgamesh!" They cried, their voices harmonizing with the spirit of their fallen hero, Enkidu, echoing through the streets like a sacred hymn. Yet a flicker of unease stirred within him as shadows danced among the warriors gathered. The gods had warned him, and he felt the weight of their words. There would be more trials ahead. A storm was brewing on the horizon, and he would need to face it with the strength of his ancestors. As night fell over Uruk, the stars twinkled in the sky, a reflection of the bonds that had been forged in battle and friendship. Gilgamesh climbed to the highest ziggurat, overlooking the city he had fought to protect. The memories of his fallen friend enveloped him, a warmth kindling within, a reminder that the path of a king was paved with loss and love. "Enkidu, my brother," he whispered into the night, a promise carried on the wind. "I will continue to honor you and our bond. I will forge a legacy worthy of the trials we faced together." And as the moon bathed the land in its silver light, Gilgamesh stood resolute, a king transformed by the flames of battle and the embrace of friendship. The world lay before him, a canvas upon which he would paint the tale of their journey, a tale of destiny, courage, and the enduring power of love. The gods watched from above, their hearts swelling with pride as their chosen king stood firm against the tides of fate, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. For in Gilgamesh's heart, a flame burned bright, illuminating the path for heroes yet to come.